Ako ime ka akọ dị mma ya na onye hụrụ na fence akwara fence a kwatuo ya the two fence both mana nke fada fence nke ma fada akwaturu ya ha bachara n'ime ebe ahụ abachara n'ime dia mana me ha achọga ile anyị ga-ahụchukwa mọta nka ha na nke ha na nke fada nke sister na ugwu ala ọ ya dị ha bachara ha kwaturu fence ha kwatuo fence Sister Bena, akwaturu fence ya abachara n'ime ebe ahụ na fence ya dị ha akwaturu fence ya baa n'ime dia amana ma n'ime ebe ahụ ka ndị a na-ekwu okwu ya na ụjọ ndị fine chukwu ma ebe ahụ ka ọ nọ kere wela nke ọkpọkere anaghị ụka egwu ha ube ha ndị abịa gbaa ya ọkụ ha kwaturu fence ọ wụdị na ha chịra gate ha kwaturu fence ha ụlọ ha amana ma ụlọ ha gbara ọkụ mere ihe ụlọ mere lekwa machine paakịrị ebe ha gbachara ma machine ọkụ so mmanụ ma ọhịa ga-acha ha baba emechie ọhịa bụ mmechi ụlọ nwanụ acha ha ba emechie ụlọ ahụ ya a destroyere ebe a makwara ihe niile ọkụ
There is heavy gun battle in Biafra land right now as Biafra Liberation Army defeat Nigerian army, burnt down their armored tanks and fighter jets. The videos shared on social media reports clashes between the Nigerian army and the Biafra Liberation Army, with claims that the army has resorted to airstrikes due to difficulty in ground operations. Civilian areas have reportedly been affected, resulting in destroyed homes and displaced people. The Nigerian army could not defeat the Biafra Liberation Army through ground forces and decided to use the military airstrike to destroy homes of innocent civilians in the southeast. So many footages of the aftermath was shared on social media showing homes of innocent civilians in the southeast destroyed by Nigerian military airstrike. However, the Biafra Liberation Army has succeeded in burning down the armored tanks and fighter jets belonging to the Nigerian military. However, the Biafra Liberation Army has complained earnestly that the prevalence of checkpoints in southeast, alleging that they are economically motivated, serving as a means for security personnel to extort money from residents. There are claims of innocent civilians being targeted under the pretext of searching for Biafra fighters and its commander Gentle by the Nigerian military. But why destroy the homes of innocent civilians in the southeast? The video also highlights an event where a group symbolically removed a Nigerian flag and hoisted the Biafran flag, declaring their autonomy. This act is portrayed as a symbolic rejection of the Nigerian government. However, critics have expressed frustration over the impacts of the conflict on ordinary people, particularly during the festive season, urging for peace and an end to violence. Let me take you into the heart of what's happening in Biafra land right now, a region caught in the middle of a heavy battle that's leaving lives shattered, homes destroyed and families displaced. It's a chaotic scene, one that feels like it's pulled straight out of a movie. But this is no movie. This is real life, and it's happening as we speak. It all started when clashes broke out between the Nigerian army and a group called the Biafra Liberation Army, or BLA for short. The Biafra Liberation Army is a group fighting for what they believe is their right to independence, their right to exist as a separate entity from Nigeria. This is not a new struggle. It's one that has been brewing for years, but what's happening now feels different. It's intense, it's destructive, and most importantly, it's affecting the lives of innocent people in ways that are hard to even imagine. The Nigerian army, known for its strength and resources, has found itself struggling on the ground. The BLA has been resilient, holding their ground in ways that seem to have caught the military off guard. In response, the army has turned to airstrikes, dropping bombs on areas suspected of harboring BLA fighters. But here's the issue. Those bombs aren't just hitting military targets. They're hitting civilian homes, schools, markets, places where ordinary people live and work. And the destruction? It's massive. Videos circulating on social media paint a grim picture. You see buildings reduced to rubble, entire neighborhoods wiped out, and people standing amidst the ruins of what used to be their homes. In one video, a man walks through the debris, his voice trembling as he asks, "What did we do to deserve this?" His home, like many others, is gone. He doesn't look like a soldier. He looks like someone's father, someone's brother, just an ordinary man caught in extraordinary circumstances. The Biafra Liberation Army, on the other hand, has managed to deal some significant blows to the Nigerian military. They've burned down armored tanks and even destroyed fighter jets. Yes, you heard that right, fighter jets. It's hard to wrap your head around it, isn't it? A group that doesn't have the same level of resources as a national military somehow managing to hold their own, even striking back with force. But that's what's happening, and it's sending shockwaves through the region. Now let's talk about the airstrikes. Imagine sitting in your home, having dinner with your family, and suddenly hearing the deafening sound of a bomb exploding nearby. The walls shake, windows shatter, and you're left scrambling to find safety. This is the reality for many families in Biafra land right now. The Nigerian military says they're targeting the Biafra Liberation Army, but the collateral damage is impossible to ignore. People who have nothing to do with the conflict are losing everything: homes, belongings, and in some cases their loved ones. One of the most striking things about this situation is the symbolism. In one particularly dramatic video, a group of people can be seen taking down the Nigerian flag and replacing it with the flag of Biafra. It's a bold move, one that sends a clear message. They're rejecting the Nigerian government and declaring their autonomy. To them, this is more than just a flag. It's a statement of identity, a declaration of freedom. But this act has also sparked debate. Some see it as a brave step toward independence, while others worry that it will only escalate the violence and make things harder for the people on the ground. And let's not forget about the checkpoints. If you've ever traveled through the southeast of Nigeria, you've probably seen them, military checkpoints set up along the roads. On the surface, these checkpoints are supposed to provide security, to keep the region safe. But many locals tell a different story. They say these checkpoints are less about security and more about money. People passing through are often forced to pay bribes, and those who refuse risk being harassed or even detained. It's a system that breeds frustration and resentment, especially when people feel like they're being treated as suspects in their own communities. The Biafra Liberation Army has been vocal about this issue, accusing the military of using these checkpoints to extort money from residents. And honestly, it's hard to argue with them when you hear the stories coming out of the region. One man described how he was stopped at a checkpoint and asked to pay a fee just to continue on his way. He didn't have the money, so they made him wait for hours. Can you imagine? It's humiliating, and it's just one more layer of hardship for people who are already dealing with so much. Then there's the figure of Gentle, a name that keeps coming up in conversations about this conflict. The Nigerian army claims they're looking for him, accusing him of being a key player in the Biafra Liberation Army. But here's the thing. Their search for Gentle has led to innocent people being targeted. Homes have been raided, families have been displaced, and all under the pretext of finding this one person. In one particularly heartbreaking video, you see a house that's been destroyed, and the narrator asks, "Does Gentle live here or here?" It's a sarcastic way of pointing out the absurdity of the situation. If gentle is one person, why are so many people being punished? Amidst all this chaos, the festive season is here. But instead of preparing for Christmas with joy and anticipation, people in Biafra land are dealing with fear and uncertainty. Imagine trying to celebrate when bombs are falling, when you don't even know if you'll have a home tomorrow. It's heartbreaking. Some families have decided to return to their villages, hoping that the rural areas will offer some measure of safety. Others are staying put, determined to make the best of a terrible situation. Despite everything, there are moments of resilience, moments that remind you of the strength of the human spirit. In one video, you see people preparing for Christmas, putting up decorations, and trying to create a sense of normalcy for their children. It's a small act, but it speaks volumes. It's a way of saying, we're still here, we're still standing, and that's powerful. But let's not romanticize this. The situation is dire, and it's taking a toll on everyone involved. People are tired of the violence, tired of the uncertainty, tired of living in a world where peace feels like a distant dream. And as much as we celebrate their resilience, we also have to acknowledge their pain. This isn't just a story about a battle. It's a story about people, mothers, fathers, children, trying to navigate a world that's been turned upside down. It's about communities struggling to hold on to their identity, their dignity, and their hope. And it's a story that deserves our attention, our empathy, and our action. So what's the way forward? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Everyone seems to have an opinion, but finding a solution feels almost impossible. Some are calling for dialogue, for both sides to come to the table and find a peaceful resolution. Others believe that independence is the only answer, that Biafra deserves to stand on its own. And then there are those who just want the violence to stop, who don't care about politics or ideologies. They just want to live in peace. As we watch this story unfold, let's not forget the people at the center of it. They're real people with real lives, and they deserve better than this. Let's hope that 2024 brings some kind of resolution, some kind of peace for the people of Biafra land. As we watch these events unfold, we can only hope that the new year brings some sort of resolution, some glimmer of peace for the people of Biafra land. I will play the video for you guys to watch and see for yourself. This is the end of our news update.
I don't think we have these checkpoints in the southeast primarily because there's kidnapping and insecurity. I personally think we have more insecurity in the north than in the southeast. That's my perspective. I may be wrong, but if you look at the news, if you look at the number of incidents of banditry and all of that, you would expect them to have more checkpoints than we do. That's my thought. But I think what drives checkpoints in the southeast is the economic benefit for the people who collect money at checkpoints. And I stand to be corrected. You know, we don't look at the fact that money is a very powerful incentive in life generally. People want money. And where there are no consequences for wrongdoing, people want money and they do anything and everything to make money. I suspect that the most significant reason we have checkpoints all over the place in the southeast is because we are too quick to part with money. If you set up 1 million checkpoints in the north and you set up 100 in the southeast, the 100 in the southeast will make more money than the 1 million in the north because the average northerner will not give you.
Adio ko bakashi chaba. No na ke yonade. Na she je ba ha bako daga he. Adio ko bakashi ado he. Adio ko bakashi ojo. Bakashi everywhere. Well. Kala nanka emanko. Ah, ke manko. Lungu na shit. Ba adio ko bakashi opo. Ah, bakashi na ba. Ada so bakashi ba. mechara ebe ahụ mgbaka acha nke Matthew gacha n'ime be Matthew nke na-ere ọgwụ onye na-amaghị Matthew lekwacha ha akụkara ya akụkachara ebe akụkachara be Matthew kwachachicha be n'ime ụlọ ya be Matthew nke na-ere ọgwụ ababe ya be Matthew nke na-ere ọgwụ ya ha achachichara everywhere ya na be Matthew dị ha ndị ha were lekwa ya ndị bara imeji akụ amadụ mgbe ọhịa awụ mmeji akụ ọghọta na aka abalị iji mechi anya akụdo unu ụmụakụ ka m na-ajụ ndị mba ụwa ndị ụwa ọhịa asị ndị ababa emere ọhịa asị ndị amịrị emere onye dịkacha egwu ọnwụ DSS ele ha asị unu bịa emere unu bịa akụkacha ụlọ ndị mmadụ mụ amaghị ekwechaghị nkwe ya asị ọgwụ dị manụ ere ere achụ ụmụ ndị nlebi ebe akụ ime ka akụ dị mma ya na onye hụrụ na-awụ fensị akwara fence a kwatuo ya the two fence both mana nke fada fence nke ma fada akwaturu ya ha bachara n'ime ebe ahụ abachara n'ime dia amana m ha achọga ile anyị ga-ahụchụkwa mọta nka ha na nke ha na nke fada nke sista na ugwu ala ọya dị ha ha bachara ha kwaturu fence ha kwatuo fence sister Bena akwaturu fence ya abachakwara n'ime ebe ahụ na fensị ya dị ha akwaturu fensị ya baa n'ime di a amara m n'ime ebe ahụ ka ndị a na-ekwu okwu ya na ụjọ ndị fanyị chukwu ma ebe ahụ ka ọ nọ kere wela nke ọkpọkịrị wụọ anaghị ụka egwu ha ube ha ndị abịa gbaa ya ọkụ ha kwaturu fensị ọ wedị na ha chịra geeti ha kwaturu fensị ha ụlọ ha amara m ụlọ ha gbara ọkụ nwere ihe ụlọ mere lekwa meshin paakịrị ebe ahụ ha gbachara ma meshin ọkụ mmanụ ma ọhịa ga-acha aba bụ emechie ọhịa na-ebu mmechi ụlọ nwanụ acha aba emechie ụlọ ahụ ya adịstrọyere ebe a gbakwara ihe niile ọgụ ụlọ ahụ ya ahụ ha bịara imechi ụlọ ha bịara imechi akụ ha were ụlọ ndị mmadụ agba ọkụ ya ugwu ala akụ
Mpamoisa ya gazie mpalekwa na ihe nka ha ji bịa today ihe nka ha gbara ebe ada men n'iru nekwa ha gba tata 13th December being Friday ya na nke ha gbara ya ada men n'iru Chineke ma amụrụkwa ha gba so ya nwadị ihe ha ji bịa ka ha bịa gbuo anyị n'ụbọchị tata n'ọdụ igwe were ọnọdụ ha fele na mebi egbe na-akweghị egbu anyị na nke a ga-egbu anyị ama na ihe ọbụla bụ onye nzọkpụ na mmụọ ala Biafra na ihe ewe via out so ya nwadị ihe tata ihe ka ha gbara n'ọtụtụ ndị ya gazi Mpamoisa
December 13th ka anyị nọ na ekwe ka a gbara ha today n'izi anyị mana o kweghị ekwuge Chukwu ka bịa ma jọsịrị n'owu kwuchie ya acha ha na bulet a na-egbu anyị ha chizie ka ha jizie mizi anyị anakwa egbu anyị enweghị na-egbu ụmụ Chukwu ịghọtagwo nwenye na-egbu ụmụ Chukwu ihe ọbụla ha gbaga gbagala ha egbe elu gbaga ala nọ nkete ha gba na-agba mizi anyị nkete ke na-abịa sọpraịz zie ha na ka ekweghị ekwugo okwu ịghọtagwo na we no be them na we no be them na we no be them ngwa lee ya watch Rugged. This one now woto. Since 2 days now, I and the baga woto put us in it. And the hand on one have collected the first one. And the second one, I got for the nail. I have Quaha, go. Jenny and a half, drum 100%. I Quaha. And I can check what Hakahari, Kahaka again, but to Jana got to village to village. They harass the people. And I check how to woto. Let them come. Give the girl body. Let them come. Come on. Find our code now. Woto. Come on. If I do, man.
I am Big Mama, the sole administrator of the Ogbia State. Today is going to mark an history in the whole world that I, Big Mama, the sole administrator of the Ogbia State, joined force with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and our Chief of Staff Ngozi Orabweze to bring down the zoo flag. Today we are rejecting zoo. We are no more in the zoo government. Today the zoo are crumbled and now it is gone. So we are bringing down the flag of the Jew government called Nigeria, and we're going to raise up our flag today. Our Biafra flag today. So as we start now, I ask you, these are my soldiers. I ask them, bring down the flag. We are bringing down the flag. They are struggling. Yes, now the flag has gone. Nigeria is gone now. We are going to pin back our own flag. Biafra flag is going to pin. We have pinned our black Biafra flag. Now is flying. It's flying. All hail Biafra.
Biafra, we hail you.
All hail Biafra.
Biafra, we hail you.
All hail Biafra.
Biafra, we hail you.
Today we are in Biafra. Thank you.
December, Osetigo, Omu Babana Tawago, Unna, on our faith, Yalagane, Buddha Tagasi, Tawasaba, 11th of December, 2023. This is Range Rover, Car Rolls Royce, Efiala, and Ibo Gona Bada, Imuibo, I am Europa 2, Ibo, Car Formatic, Car Benz Box, Ibo Diebu, East Kind Abada, Osbosbo, what do I go December? You would not celebrate Christmas and keep us the same Ike. There you back. On the member life. I don't know Saba. Kawabona Bada Nibo for Christmas. Christmas this year, guy Diego. Or Masariha, and a Weba and a boom, and we began about Christmas. Without the owner.
Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.